Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda. If you are new here, hi, hello, welcome. And if you are returning, welcome back and thank you for tuning in today. I am so excited for today's video. We are going to be doing a makeup declutter and I have a basket full of makeup that I am decluttering out of my collection. There's a variety of categories, you know, there's everything from foundation to eyeshadow palettes to lipsticks. So there's a bit of everything in here. I'm gonna go ahead and flip the camera around for you guys so you guys can get a better look at all of the products. And I'll just explain briefly why I'm decluttering each product. So if that interests you, then make sure you keep on watching. So let's just go ahead and dig right into the basket. So I think I'm gonna start with eyeshadow palettes. I have two eyeshadow palettes that I'm decluttering. The first one is by Juvia's Place, and this is the Zulu palette. I actually won this in a giveaway quite a few years ago now, and honestly I've barely touched it. As you can see, it's got a good formula. It's just not a palette that I ever reach for. I feel like the color story maybe just throws me off a little bit, so I think it's time to just declutter this one and hopefully someone else can get better use of this. Next we have this Cara Beauty. This is the You Had Me at Aloha palette. This one I actually picked up at I think a Winners or Marshalls for like $13. It's got a really pretty color story, but honestly, I'm just not a fan of the formula, especially these like shimmers. They are so bad. They literally crease like almost instantly, and the mattes are just not super pigmented. So I have other palettes that I like a lot better, and I just feel like this one isn't getting used. So I am going to declutter this one out of my collection. Next up, setting powder. I have this Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the loose setting powder in translucent. I think I almost decluttered this one last time, but I decided to keep it, and honestly I haven't really touched it since then. I may have used it once, and honestly I just don't really like it that much. I feel like I just don't like that it's white. I feel like it's just, it leaves too much of a white cast in my opinion, and I just wish that it was more of a tinted one. So maybe I would pick up another one of this in just like a more beige or like natural tone instead of the white, because I do feel like this does make your face look a little bit white when you set your whole face with it. I don't think it's a bad powder though, it's just the color for me. So yeah, I'm going to declutter this. Next we have the Ofra Cosmetics banana powder. This is the brightening and setting powder. I know I included this in a previous declutter and then I ended up choosing to keep it. I said I was just gonna give it another chance, and I did, and I just find that, I don't know, it makes my under eyes look too yellow. I don't know. I feel like I just can't love it. I don't know. I just can't get to that point where I feel like it's something I want to reach for all the time. It's just, yeah, it's just not my favorite, and I just feel like it's never gonna get used. I usually just use like a normal loose setting powder to set my under eyes. So I think I prefer just like more of a natural tone under my eyes instead of like a bright banana yellow. So yeah, I am going to declutter this one. Okay, next I have two liquid liners, and as you can see I do keep packaging for a lot of products. You know, when I test them out and I don't like them, then I will just keep them in their original packaging, and I don't know, it just looks better I feel like when I pass them along to somebody else. It just, I don't know, I have an obsession with keeping product packaging. So I still have the packaging for these. I think I only tried each one out once, or maybe I didn't even test them out on my eyes. I might have just swatched them, but they're just not for me. I don't know. This one has like a really stiff kind of tip on it, and it's just not super opaque. It's just, I don't know. It's not a very good eyeliner in my opinion. This one is by My Beauty brand. I've never even heard of this brand before, but I did get this in a BoxyCharm. This is what it looks like. And it's just like that. But yeah, it's just not, it's not for me. I love my NYX one, so it's hard to justify keeping one that I don't love because I'm never going to reach for it. I'm always going to reach for my NYX one. So yeah, I'm going to declutter that. And then this one is by Beauty Vault. Again, I got this in a BoxyCharm. Same kind of thing. It's just not for me. I don't know. Like, it's all right. I just feel like the formulas were just not my favorite, or the tips on them. So yeah, we're gonna declutter both of those. Okay, moving on to bronzers. I have, I think, 3 bronzers. So this one is the Benefit Hoola bronzer. Very good bronzer, but this one is just super old. It's like over 4 years old at this point, and I did kind of ruin the formula a little bit because I sprayed it with setting spray for like this TikTok hack or something a long time ago, and it kind of never fully recovered. I had to like scrape layers of it off, and you know what, I just decided instead of doing that, I'm just gonna toss this because it's already past its expiry date. It's 4 years old, I believe, so I'll just end up buying a new one and just toss this one in the garbage. And I also have this Pixie, this is the Beauty Bronzer in the shade Summertime. I can't even remember where I got this. I think I may have got this in a Ipsy bag, and I've barely used it. As you can see, it's just like a really shimmery formula. It's almost like it could be like a highlighter in a sense, like for someone with a really deep skin tone. It's just not a bronzer that I ever reach for, so I figured it's time to pass this along. And then we also have this Soul Body Cream Bronzer. I really do like this bronzer. It's just the shade. I ordered a shade that is just too dark for me. I ordered the dark shade, which thinking back, I don't know why I did that, but I think the swatches online looked really light, so I thought if I ordered like the light medium or the medium, it was going to be too light. But I don't know, I think they would have worked a lot better. This one is pretty dark. It's just, yeah, it's just the shade for me. I do really like the formula, and I would really like to pick up another one of these, but just in a different shade. Okay, we have a couple more Pixie products. We have this glitter eyeshadow quad. I got this in PR, but I have like only used it once, I think. I just don't really like using glitter. So I'm gonna declutter this because I know I'm never gonna touch it. Yeah, so we're getting rid of that. And then I also got this in PR. This is one of their face palette quads. This one's in the shade Honey Nectar, and it's called the Nuance Quartet. So there's 4 shades. You get a bronzer, blush, and 2 highlight shades. I never reach for this palette, so I feel like it's just time to get rid of it. Okay, let's dig into some foundations. So I have this Natasha Denona Transfer Matte Pore Vanishing Matte Foundation. This one's in the shade 24W Light Warm. So I got this in a BoxyCharm, and you guys, I just don't like this foundation. It is honestly so drying on the skin. Like the shade actually worked out really perfect for me, but it's just a really, really drying formula, and it's hard to blend out. So yeah, I am going to declutter this because I know I'm not going to use it anymore. And then I also have this Makeup Revolution foundation. This is the Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. This is in the shade F2. There's nothing wrong with this formula. It's just not the right shade for me. It's way too light, and I feel like this is my second time buying one, and I can just not shade match properly because like I can't ever test these because I get them at the drugstore, and like you can't like swatch them or anything, so it's kind of like a blind buy. And I've bought 2 different ones already, and neither of them have matched me, so I feel like I'm just gonna give up on this brand because it's just too hard to shade match. But I did like the formula of it. We also have a concealer here. This is the Maybelline Superstay Activewear. I got the shade 10. I actually got this in a PR package. And it's just not a good formula. It's very, very light. It doesn't offer like really any coverage, and I feel like it just creases like super easily. So yeah, I'm not fond of it. I am gonna get rid of it. I think I only used it like maybe 5 times or something. I really wanted to give it a fair chance, but it just does not work for me. So yeah, we're gonna get rid of that. Okay, let's move on to blush, and this is by Seraphine Botanicals. It's the Primrose and Cream Lip and Cheek Cream Palette. This I also got in a BoxyCharm, and I do like the formula. I think it was nice, but I just don't really like the shades. They're just not my typical shades that I would reach for, so I think I'm just going to get rid of this because I never reach for it. Then we also have the Benefit Georgia blush. It's the Golden Peach blush. So yeah, this blush is just way too light on me. Like you can honestly barely see it on my skin tone. So I am going to declutter it. I do really love Benefit, and I do want to try their new blushes that they just came out with, but this one is just like way too light. I feel like I should have decluttered it in my last declutter video, but I had like just gotten it, so I wanted to hold on to it for a little bit longer, but I've never reached for it because it's just too light of a shade. Then we also have this ColourPop blush. This is the pressed powder blush in the shade Foxy. Now this is a really pretty blush. I like the shade a lot, but I just feel like it's discontinued, and I don't really like using discontinued products on my social media because you guys can't go out and buy them. So I feel like I wouldn't really reach for this ever because of that. Also, I have other kind of peachy blushes that I like a lot more, so I am gonna declutter this one. Next we have some brow products, and this one is by Ofra Cosmetics, and it is the Don't Play Brow Gel. I actually won this in a giveaway. Like, I won a giveaway on Instagram, and I was able to choose the products that I wanted, so I chose this because I hadn't really heard anything about it. I wanted to try it out. I love trying new brow gels. But this is just not very good. I did like it at first, but it just doesn't hold my brow hairs in place very long at all. So for that reason, I am decluttering it. I love actually the e.l.f. brow lift is very similar to this one, except it actually holds your brows in place. So I feel like that one is way better than this one, and I don't need to keep both, especially if this one doesn't really work. Next we have this NYX the brow glue. Okay, so I don't know what the hype is about this stuff, but it's not very good at all. Like, I think it's way too like goopy, and it leaves like white residue all over your brows. I've tried it so many different ways. It just does not look good ever, and it doesn't hold your brows in place really at all. So I don't understand why this went viral. It's actually a really bad product, but that's just my opinion. I did give it a fair chance. I tried it like 3 or 4 times. It just does not work for me. So I am decluttering it. Then we have this Basic Beauty eyeshadow primer, another BoxyCharm product. I think I tried this once and it just didn't work out too well for me. I don't really like how sheer of a formula it is. It's like quite sheer, so I just prefer something more opaque. So I am gonna declutter that one. Okay, and I think everything else is lippies, so let's just dig right in. I got a couple glosses. So we have the Persona, I don't know what this is called, Honey Gloss. Again, another BoxyCharm product. I just don't really love the formula or the shade. I don't know. It's just not my favorite gloss I've ever tried. I never reach for it, so I think it's time to declutter it. I will show you guys the swatches of these though, just so you can see. I love swatching lip products, so that is what it looks like. I mean, the shade is all right. It's just a little bit too warm tone for me, and the formula is definitely thicker and a bit sticky, so yeah, not my favorite. Then we also have this ColourPop Luxe Gloss. I know I decluttered another one in my last declutter and I kept this one, but it's time to declutter this one. I just don't like the formula. I don't like the scent of these. Again, very sticky, thick formula. The shade is okay. I just don't like the formula. I don't know if you guys can see that, but this is in the shade Renaissance. So yeah, getting rid of that. And then the last gloss I have is by Alamar Cosmetics, and this is in the shade Birthday Suit. I love the scent of this. It smells like freaking like cake. Yeah, it smells really, really good, but it's just, again, a super sticky, thick formula, and I just don't like that type of formula for a gloss. So yeah, we're gonna get rid of her. Okay, next let's do bullet lipsticks. So first up I have this one from MAC. This is from the Alia collab. I have no idea how old this collab is. I was sent this in a PR beauty subscription box like, I want to say like a year ago, maybe a little less. And this is in the shade Try Again. It's the matte formula. I just don't really love this formula. I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit more on the drying side. The color is kind of pretty though. Like, I do kind of like the nude shade of it, but I just like have never really reached for this since I got it. I think I've used it like maybe twice. So yeah, I am gonna get rid of that one. And then I also got this one recently in a BoxyCharm. And this is the Beauty for Certain lipstick in the shade number 18. So if you watched that video, I tested it out and it is just extremely drying, and like the formula just, it's honestly even hard to like apply. I just don't like it at all. The shade is pretty though, like it's a nice pretty nude color, but the formula for me is just, yeah, it's just way too drying. So I am gonna pass this one on. And then lastly, we have liquid lipsticks. And first up, we have this Kat Von D lipstick in the shade Sanctuary. So I really do like this formula, but this is just really old. They just came out with these like in a new formula. So, you know, they redid them. They have new packaging and everything. So I'd be interested in trying out one of those. But yeah, this one is just really old at this point. I really do like the shade of it though. I think it's a really pretty shade. And they do actually have the shade in the new formula. So I'm excited for that. I may pick up this same shade again because it is like a really unique shade. I actually really like it. But this one is just super old, so I feel like it's time to get rid of it. Then we have this BH Cosmetics liquid lipstick in the shade, I don't even know if it says. No, there's no shade name. Okay, I got this at, I think, Winners in like a set. But these are so extremely drying. I know I decluttered one in my last video too, and I kept this one because of the color. It's like a kind of almost like a metallic pink, but I haven't reached for it since that video, so I feel like it's just time to get rid of it. Then we have this Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink lipstick in the shade Escapist. I actually haven't even had this that long. I ordered it on Amazon like, I don't know, a few months ago, thinking it would be a really pretty like fall shade. And mind you, it is a nice shade. Like it's a really pretty like deep plum kind of color, or deep, I don't know, deep purple. But as you can see, like it is pretty sheer and it doesn't really build up that easy. So I just didn't really like this specific shade. I just think it's a little bit too sheer and it gets really drying when you have to add layers of it to get that pigmentation and that opacity. So yeah, I am gonna declutter this. And then lastly, we have this one from Tarte. This is the Tarteist lip paint in the shade Rose, or Rosé, sorry. And yeah, I do like this formula, but this is a super old lipstick. I feel like I've had this for like 3 years now, and I have another lipstick in my collection that's newer that is almost identical to this shade. So I feel like I don't really need both. So I'm gonna declutter this one because it's most likely expired. All right, that is everything, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I had so much fun decluttering my makeup and sharing with you guys all the stuff I'm getting rid of. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that I got rid of that you have in your collection, or if you also decluttered, or just like what your thoughts are on some of the stuff I decluttered. I would love to hear. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on my next video. Bye.